if it's a decoy to distract us from something 50 times bigger?
Find out what is happening.
We are everywhere.
This is how I think this went down in my mind. So I'm pretty sure it's accurate. So they're working on this movie, and they're like, okay, we need a no-nonsense military person that not going to take any crap from Billy Bob Thornton. Give me Rosario Dawson. Is that
I thought that's actually pretty accurate, I think. It was like, call in Rosario.
That's right. We need someone who can go up against Billy Bob and not take any crap.
Which is a different kind of casting call than Chickless got, because Chickless got called by DJ's son. So that was an interesting sort of casting. No, I just thought it was really fun. One of my favorite scenes was, you know, when the car's kind of coming up, or we're at this great huge junkyard, and I'm having this argument on the phone, and he's talking to me like I'm one of his minions, and I'm like, yeah, not so much actually. I don't work for you. And then I go turn around and I walk and I get on my Black Hawk and fly off. That was one of the most badass moments of my history. And I was like, oh, that's Billy Bob Thornton. That's pretty good. I'm like, I love that.
Let's talk about Billy Bob, because he's the man. I mean, first of all, smartest guy I've ever met.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Scary smart.
I know.
Scary smart.
And just obviously, you know, you look at his background work and so forth. Like, and this is, I believe, was that your first meeting with him, or was it?
Yeah, this is why I actually met him once on a plane before, which was really brief, and we were talking about knitting because I was knitting.
Okay.
Like, you always have sort of like strange meetings with him, but I've even talked about it with Shia. Like, Shia was like, this man scares me. Like, I've got to be on point. He's so good. It's unbelievable. So he was like, I'm taking acting lessons. Like, he made sure to you just want to be on point around him because he's so sharp, and he's been doing this for a long time, and especially been doing military films. So he really has this spiel down, and it's just great because once you kind of get past that like sort of like strange wall, then you're all of a sudden in there and you're going and you're swapping stories about how weird it is when you're visiting the Pentagon, and they're like, we're going to go in this secret room over here. The password is, but you won't tell anybody, right, Billy? And it's just like, are you kidding? It's like, no wonder the man's like that. He's got access to everything.
Let's talk about military spiel.
Yeah.
You're going into, is it important to look and feel and do the part?
Absolutely. I mean, I went to Andrews Air Force Base, I went to the Pentagon, I visited with so many different people, and you get the sort of weight of going, this is representing actual human beings. Like, so I want to make sure when they watch the movie, they feel respected. But also, it's just like, you have to realize that the pace of the movie, you got to sort of like do that stunt acting where you're walking really fast and talking really fast. And I never really understood that before in watching movies until I actually was doing this one. And you're going, oh, because no one's going to really be able to understand all the sec def, all that kind of stuff, which you have to say. So you just got to go through it really quickly because they're going to cut to a helicopter scene anyway. So you just got to like, you got to keep the energy up. So the fact that I feel like even as I was watching the movie, knowing where it was going, and I was still at the edge of my seat, I think we did a good job.
So you go and you talk to these advisors, are they ever, do you ever think that they're looking at you like, okay, she's going to portray one of us, and all right. I mean, do you ever think that they're thinking, okay, is she going to do this right, or?
Well, I think, you know, it's about going in there prepared. So a lot of the things that we were talking about going in there was like, how are we going to have, we knew it was going to be a caustic relationship between Billy Bob's character and my own. But was it going to be about ageism? Was it going to be about sexism? No, you've seen that a million times, and Humphrey Bogart did it better. Like, so what are we going to look at what's going to be today? Well, technically, between the FBI and the OSI, it's always going to be about the different way they approach the situation. So the FBI has their way, the OSI has their way, and they always think that the other one doesn't do it as well. So that was the interesting thing. So when I went there and I was interviewing people, they're like, oh yeah, because they got this kind of paperwork, and this is the way we do it, and we're very disciplined. And like, so you just sort of like come at it from that character's perspective of just going, I'm the best one for the job. That's why we're going to keep hitting walls, because you think you're the best one for the job, and we're going to like race to the finish line on this one.
Now, obviously, this movie technology shows you in scary, very scary. Do you look twice at your cell phone differently now?
I think I always have. I think it's a really eerie thing that you call a person now rather than a place. And when I get someone text me, and then they email me, and then they call me, and then they have someone else call, I'm like, really? Seriously? Is it that deep? Like, clearly I'm not available. Why are you stressing me? So I just kind of like, when it's gone and developed to this point now where you go online and it's telling you like, you'll like this site, or you'll like this thing, and things are popping up all the time, and you're getting weird emails, and you know, Big Brother, and you hear about how many millions of cameras they put in the Lower East Side alone as you're walking through the streets. It's like, Big Brother's real. It already exists. The government already can listen in on your phone calls and listen in on your emails, and just, you know, so it's like, I almost feel like you don't want to be like at the airport saying bomb by accident. It's like, you know, I'm at home right now and I'm still feeling a little shaky about what I'm going to say. So it's weird, but you know, I try not to get too paranoid about it, but I don't know. This movie's kind of hitting, I think, a lot of nails on the head.
Yeah, this movie rocks. Thank you.
But,